created the heavens and the earth, and have serenity over all flesh, sovereignty over all flesh. Then said the king unto him, thinkest thou not that Baal is living God? See thou not how much he eateth and drinketh every day? Then Daniel smiled and said, O king, be not deceived, for this is but clay within and brass without, and did never eat or drink anything. So the king was wroth and called his priests and said unto them, if ye tell me not who this is that devour these expensive, ye shall die. But if ye can certify me that Baal devour them, then Daniel shall die. For he hath spoken blasphemy against Baal. And Daniel said unto the king, let it be according to thy word. Now the priests of Baal were 70, beside their wives and children. And the king went with Daniel into the temple of Baal. So Baal's priest said, lo, we go out, but thou, O king, set on the meat and make ready the wine, and shut the door fast and seal it with thy own signet. And tomorrow when thou comest in, if thou findest not that Baal have eaten up all, we will suffer death. Or else Daniel, that speaketh falsely against us. And they little regarded it, for under the table they had made a privy entrance, whereby they entered in continually and consumed those things. So when they were gone forth, the king set meat before Baal. Now Daniel had commanded his servants to bring ashes, and those they strewed throughout all the temple in the presence of the king alone. Then went they out and shut the door and sealed it with the king's signet, and so departed. Now in the night came the priests with their wives and children, as they were wont to do, and did eat and drink up all. In the morning time the king arose, and Daniel went with him. And the king said, Daniel, are the seals whole? And he said, yea, O king, they are whole. And as soon as he had opened the door, the king looked up upon the table and cried with a loud voice, great thou art, O Baal, and with thee is no deceit at all. Then laughed Daniel and held the king that he should go not to go, and said, behold now the pavement and the mark whose footprints are these.
Yeah, because Daniel knew that it was his own servants that was eating, and his own priest that was eating and drinking the food that was set up for Baal. That's why Daniel commanded his servant to bring the ashes, and he threw it on the ground, because he knew that when they came in, they was going to leave their footprints. And so that's what the king seen. The king seen the footprints of his priests. Continue.
It says, now the pavement mark well whose footprints are these. And the king said, I see the footprints of men, women, and children. And then the king was angry, and took the priests with their wives and children, who showed him the privy doors where they came in, and consumed such things as were upon the table. Therefore the king slew them, and delivered Baal into Daniel's power, who destroyed him and his temple.
Alright, that's it on that. If you read further on, it goes into the dragon, which Daniel also destroyed and proved that it wasn't a living God. And at the end of all of it, who did the king of Babylon worship? He worshipped the Most High. He worshipped the power of Daniel. He said, thou, out of his own mouth, he said, the God of Daniel is the only living power. So he forsook his own idols. Alright? And that's what you people fail to realize, man. Because what y'all worship is idols. You got people who go to the statue of Mary, so-called statue of Mary, alright, and bow down to it, crying and worshiping it. The statue of Caesar Borgia, bow down to it and worship it. The Most High said, you're not supposed to worship idols. That's why the Lord said he ain't going to take his likeness and fashion it into clay or to stone. Don't make no image of the Lord. Alright? That's it on that.
I got a scripture to go with what you said just now. This is James chapter 2 verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble.
Ashua, you can break down.
Yeah, so read that again.
James chapter 2 verse 19. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. the devils also believe and tremble.
Right, because there's a story in the gospel when Yahweh Shah went to a certain place. He met up with a person that had demons on him, and he commanded that the demons were saying, thou son of man, did you come here now to trouble us? And he commanded them to jump into some swine, and they ran violently into the ocean. The so-called white man, he knows there's a power out there, but the so-called white man is so proud, you know what I'm saying? He's so proud and he's so deceived that he won't, you know, he's so proud and wicked, he won't accept that. Like the king did, I think that was Darius, that accepted that. You know, that's the reason why the so-called white man is going to get burnt up. All right, you know, he's going to be enslaved for 1,000 years and then he's going to get burnt up. But the heathens, they actually going to have their own. They're going to have to be under subjection under us, but they're going to have their own land again.
That's right.
Because what? There's certain kings in history that actually gave permission to build temples. You know, gave the prophets or the people of Israel leeway. The so-called white man, he don't even let us know who we are. You know, but the point is, the so-called white man, he knows, and these demons knows that there is a God. You know, is no other name but one name that you could really get delivered by, and it's Yahweh Shai and Yahweh. You got to go through Yahweh Shai to get to Yahweh. No different, no other name. If you don't know those names, you can't call on the Most High. How you think you're gonna get saved? You know, there's no other God except the Most High and His Son. All right.
Anything on that?
Yeah.
Well, speak to.
I'm gonna bring this out real quick for you.
Yeah.
This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace ye are saved through faith.
Yeah, so by grace we've saved through faith, but just because you have grace, that don't give you a license to do evil or do wicked. Just like the Jehovah's Witnesses, none of them have a beard on their face. They portray this piousness like they're the most righteous on the whole planet Earth. But then again, they use grace as their leeway to sin or their license to sin. You know, yeah.
Yep.
Start from the beginning.
Yep. Ephesians 2 and 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith.
So you're gonna be saved through faith, all right? Because what? This grace that we got upon us. Because look, the grace that we got upon us now is the fact is that we're not keeping the laws fully. There's a scripture that a guy that was picking up sticks on the Sabbath got stoned to death. We're not living in those times now because what? Yahweh Shah. Because if we were still living under those laws, the blood of Yahweh Shah would be none or void. You know? So we living on that grace that we could wear these materials that we wearing that's mingled. We eating all this abominations that we eating, alright? And we not keeping the laws fully. Yeah.
And that not of your... I'm gonna read again. For by grace ye are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is a gift of God.
Right, so it's a gift of God because you know why? In Ephesians, the 1st chapter, and around the 5, 6, 7 verse, it talks about men being predestined to be saved. All right, that they're predestined. All right, so being that's the Most High's will, basically. Yeah.
Not of works, lest any man should boast.
Right, not of works, least because you know the same reason when I believe it was Gideon had to go fight a battle, the Most High told him to take up 300 men instead of the whole nation of Israel, because Israel is a boastful and proud people. If they see that they go into battle with great numbers, they'll be like, you know what, we the ones that won this battle. They're not going to give the all praises to the Most High. They'll have the righteous men above in the midst of them, but there's wicked men in the midst of Israel. All right, so yeah, so at least any man should boast. Yeah.
For we are his workmanship, created in Yahweh Shai unto good works.
Yeah.
Which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them.
Right, so we was ordained to be the chosen people of the Most High, and we supposed to walk in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the joint of that. That was it.
Yeah. So people are fooled. They believe that they can worship God in a way that they want, you know, and in a way that they feel. But they don't realize that the Most High don't work that way. It's more powerful for a man to be, the Most High shows his power for a man to be on drugs, let's say, or be so caught up in the world, and the Most High remove him from doing that to actually be a man of the Lord. It's more powerful. Just like they don't, the fucking, what they call it, the virgin birth.
Yeah.
It's more powerful for the one that you ignorantly call, the man that you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, to come as an actual man than him to come as a spiritual being. What's the power in that? Because he came as an actual man and he rose from the dead. There's more power in that. That's how the Most High works. So he'll take regular men and give them the knowledge of the Bible. You know, this is like the elders always say, it's a spiritual thing. People that's not really in tune with the scriptures, they not spiritual, so they can't understand what's going on in the Bible.
Sure. That's right.
So
yeah, like the brothers going, you know what that scripture says they perceived Peter. That goes right along with what you're saying. It says they perceived that Peter and John were unlearned men.
That's Acts, right?
Yeah, I know it's Acts.
Around the 20th, I think.
Well, I shall speak to it again.
Yeah, so because all these religion, all these, just like yesterday we was preaching, and they had this one kid that couldn't get in his mind because he was an Egyptian, and he was saying, oh, God is not fair, and God is not fair because he chose out one people, and he's only dealing with those people, and only those people could be saved. So I told him, look, man, God, he does what he wants because he's the creator. And I brought out, Romans the 9th chapter. All right, he's the potter. He can do whatever he wants. All right, and I told him, look, man, you better pray and hope that your lineage go back to one of the 12 tribes. Other than that, you're fucked. And just deal with it. Just deal with it. All right, you just got to deal with it. I'm happy. I'm just happy I'm an Israelite. But people have all these gods, and the so-called white man brought out all these gods to confuse people and think you could call God whatever you want. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, and this and that. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
This is here's the book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 15. All right. Alright, this is 4:13, the book of Acts. And now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled.
Because what? They didn't, just like Paul, he was brought up under Gamaliel. Paul, he was actually brought up in the ways of the law, and he actually had practice in it. But Peter and them, they were fishermen. They were regular guys. They was regular fishermen. They didn't go through the studies that Paul went under. So when they seen how bold he was like, yo, how is he speaking so boldly and he didn't even do this, or he didn't go through this? But it says the righteous are bold as a lion. Yeah.
Read again. Now when they saw that the boldness of Peter and John and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled.
That's how they look at us. They look at us. Look at these fucking guys out here. Who the fuck they think they is? Regular dudes. What school you went to? You didn't go to no theologian school, or you're not you're not a scholar. You're just a regular Joe. Look at your sneakers. Look, you wearing a skirt. You wearing a dress. That's how they was looking at Peter and them. But the Spirit of the Most High was on them. All right, the Spirit of the Most High was on them to be able to break down the scriptures. All right, go ahead.
Yep. And they took knowledge of them that they have been with Yahweh Shai.
And get Psalms 21 and start at like the 8th verse.
Psalms 21 and 8.
Yeah.
Alright, gotcha. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 21, verse 8. Thy hand shall find out all thy enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thy anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath. and fire shall devour them. That's what you're looking for?